Good evening, everyone. My name is David Scott. I'm Chairman of the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat. And I'd like to welcome you all to the 7th Annual Council on Tall Buildings Awards dinner. We are here tonight to celebrate. So everyone, please take it easy, have fun, put your feet up, relax and enjoy yourselves. I'm very pleased and proud to welcome all the visitors to Chicago. And I'm particularly pleased to welcome those of you who have travelled from overseas, who have travelled to celebrate with us tonight. People have come from London, Dubai, Kuwait, Shanghai, Japan, and even New York. This is a very international gathering, and we have a lot to celebrate. However, as building professionals, we've also got a lot to worry about as well. And it would be inappropriate not to mention some of the trials we're going through at the moment. We are living in interesting times. Our financial clients and funders are going out of business, companies are disappearing, and a recession is looming. The financial upheaval is combined with another danger that we face, and that's the danger of global warming and the dangers associated with the end of the era of plenty resources. This is going to change. And these are great challenges to us, and we as architects, engineers and developers are uniquely placed to help implement the changes that the world needs. We need to change our existing buildings, and we need to change the way that we do our new buildings. We are living in interesting times. And I looked this up today in the web, and it said that, the meaning of the phrase, "we are living in interesting times," is that heroes are made over turbulent times. So I guess it's with some relief that we can celebrate that we have a son of Chicago coming to the White House that will change the way we do things and enable us to hold our head up in the world. But we're here tonight to celebrate the heroes of the building industry, to celebrate those that have changed the way the industry works and whose influence is spreading across the world. It's remarkable to think that we can have an influence on the planet, and we need to seize the opportunity and try and implement some changes to the way we do things. So tonight, who and what are we celebrating? We have our 2 annual Lifetime Achievement Awards that go to 2 remarkable individuals. And this year marks the beginning of our newly expanded Best Tall Buildings Awards, which now honours one building in each of four regions of the world. We can change the world, we can split it into four. And finally this evening there will be the final award, which will be the Best Tall Building Award of 2008, which I'm told is secretly concealed in Tim Johnson's wallet, and it will be unveiled later this evening. Additionally, this year we launched the Council and Tall Buildings Annual Awards Book. Everyone here gets a free copy tonight. All you have to do is fill in that form in front of you, and I've even got one here, and leave your business card. We'd appreciate it. We won't bombard you with email, don't worry about that. We won't bombard you with gifts. Those of you who know the Council, is what we will give you is the opportunity to participate in the Council, to get free information about best practice in tall buildings and best practice in design from around the world, much of which you will find on our website. So I'd like to hand over to Sadhu Johnson, the Chief Environmental Officer for the City of Chicago, who incidentally is one of the Council's heroes, who will say a few words on behalf of the City and the Mayor to welcome us to this dinner tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Come on, you're in the Midwest now, my friends. Good evening, everyone. All right. It's great to have you. It's so wonderful to be in this incredible space, and I just want to acknowledge Donna Robertson for serving this wonderful academic institution and for hosting tonight. So thank you, Donna, for all that you do. On behalf of the Mayor's Office of the City of Chicago, we are so proud to have CTBUH here in the City of Chicago, to be based here in the city, and we're so honored to be able to work with the Council and the members, and I want to acknowledge and thank Anthony Wood for his leadership on the Council. Thank you, Anthony. And lastly, on behalf of Mayor Daley, I want to thank and acknowledge John Anderson for his leadership in taking this institution to be hopefully one of the greenest, if not the greenest, academic institutions in the world, and for your ongoing leadership and partnership. We work with IIT. We've had IIT students designing solar systems. We've had them taking city vehicles and converting them into plug-in hybrids, and we really partner with IIT, and I want to thank you for your leadership and for hosting us tonight. You may have heard Mayor Daley has a goal of making Chicago the greenest city in the world. He believes, and I agree with him, that tall buildings will play a very important role in that. So he is very sorry that he couldn't be here tonight. He's on his way to Istanbul on behalf of our bid for the 2016 Olympics. He's on a plane right now, so he asked me to be here on his behalf to really congratulate each of tonight's winners. And we do have a signed letter from Mayor Daley congratulating each of the winners tonight, which they will receive with their awards. And so on his behalf, I just really want to congratulate each of the winners and thank you so much for your pioneering leadership in tall buildings and sustainability and sustainable buildings and good, dense urban environments. And in that role, I'm really happy to serve as the co-chair with Anthony Wood as the Sustainability Committee for CTBUH. We've got a great committee right now. We're working on pulling together a guide for greening tall buildings, and if you're not involved and you want to be, I hope you'll talk to one of us. So again, on behalf of Mayor Daley and the City of Chicago, I really want to congratulate each of the winners, and for those firms that are based here in Chicago, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks, Sadhu. I'd now like to welcome the awards Chair Tim Johnson of NBBJ to say a few words about the awards and the process.
I even get an applause. Thank you. Thank you, David. And Sadhu, thank you for the warm welcome. It's a little chilly out there today, so we needed that. Good evening to all of you, and thank you for coming. What's been interesting in the last 3 years that I've been chairing this group, this room gets a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger, and I think that's a great sign. Thank you for supporting the council. And as David said, this is a night to celebrate. I think what's been interesting, having overseen the jury in the last few years, one, this year with the expansion of the awards, and as David said, the focus on the 4 regions, brought us more nominations for awards than we've ever received. And I think that's a tribute to 2 things. One, the hard work that the council's been doing to get out into the world and to be part of the design community, tall buildings and urban habitat. But I also think certainly the proliferation of high-rise construction around the world. And although we are in challenging times, I think that we all are here with the belief that tall buildings are a big part of our future, not only from sustainability purposes and sustainability reasons, but also it's what drives us. Man is always after that next achievement, and certainly I think some of the projects and the people you will see tonight have led that way and have inspired us all. One of the things that's been also interesting with the awards over the past few years is the quality of the submissions have also increased. The first year I remember getting certainly less submittals, but I would say less rigorous submittals, and people I think have taken not only additional effort as we focused, but I think we all realize the complexity of the projects that we do. And as you know, we have Lifetime Achievement Awards, which acknowledge individuals that have contributed to our profession, but also one of the key elements of the project awards is to really recognize the teams. We know that these buildings are complicated, they take many great minds, they take great clients, great consultants, great vision by cities that these projects are in, and so we want to recognize that tonight as well. One thing that, as the chair, I'm responsible for is putting together every year the jury. And my goal is always to seek out the leaders in the world that are part of the council, and also from a diverse group of mindsets. So I just want to mention the folks that were on the jury this past year. Fiona Cousins, who's a principal with Erik in New York. She's a mechanical engineer, and if you haven't worked with Fiona, she is a brilliant mind when it comes to sustainable design. So she really helped push us to understand how the buildings that we were looking at approached sustainable design in a fundamental way. Jim Forbes, who is one of probably the longest distance travelers here. He's from Sydney, from Hyder Consulting. Appreciate Jim's involvement in the awards jury over the past few years, and his perspective, which goes deep into the past of Council on Tall Buildings. Dan Cecil from Leslie E. Robertson Associates. Dan's a partner and is involved with a whole range of projects that Lara is doing around the world. And Carol Willis, who some of you may know, she is an architectural and urban historian. She is the director and founder of the Skyscraper Museum in New York. And if you are ever in New York, it's certainly worth seeing. And certainly you will probably see Carol there. So that was our jury, and we had a wonderful dialogue. We, as you can imagine, with a diverse group like this, we do this all over WebEx and teleconference. And getting everyone together is the first challenge, but once we've accomplished that, I think we've always had a great dialogue. We get into a lot of heated discussions and a lot of opinions, and it's been a real joy for me to be part of organizing that and bringing things to conclusion. So it's going to be an honor to be part of presenting these awards. Just one final note, we are now going to be served our main course. Is that correct? Starter, sorry. I'm from the Midwest too, so we always just get right into the meat and potatoes. But so anyway, we'll do our starter first, and then we'll be back with all of you to present our Lifetime Achievement Awards. Thank you.
We'd like to start the awards this evening with the Lynn Espedal Achievement Award. This award recognises an individual who has made an extraordinary contribution to the advancement of tall buildings and urban environment during his or her professional career. These contributions and leadership are recognised by the professional community and have significant effects enhancing cities and the lives of their inhabitants. And as you know, this year we recognise Cesar Pelli with the Lynn S. Beadle Achievement Award. Mr. Pelli has done some remarkable work over the years, as you know, from the wonderful buildings of the Petronas Towers to the International Finance Center and many, many more. His work includes the tallest building in the world from 1998 to 2004, which is the Petronas Towers. And that draws influence and inspiration from its place, probably one of the wonderful, most wonderful buildings that reflects some of the Islamic culture of the country that it's in. His influence has not only been as an architect, but as a statesman for the industry. Unfortunately, Cesar was unable to join us this evening. However, to accept the award on his behalf, please welcome Larry Ng of Pelli Clark Pelli, followed by a brief message from Cesar.
Thank you, David. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Cesar and the firm, we thank you very much for this great honor. Cesar would very much love to be here tonight. Unfortunately, he is grounded by his doctor, who orders him not to do any travel for the next 7 days. So I'm accepting this award on his behalf. However, thanks to modern technology, he has taped a message, which we would like to play for you now.
Good evening. I am terribly disappointed not to be able to be with you personally this evening. You may know I have had a bit of a bout with pneumonia. I won, but my doctor still does not allow me to get in an airplane. Therefore, my partner, Larry Ng, will have to suffice in my stead. You can imagine that he is me. We don't look alike, as you will see, but he can speak for me quite freely and authoritatively. I am very honored and very touched to have received the Lynn S. Beadle Award from the Council of Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat. This is a very significant award for me. Tall buildings have been very important for me as an architect. I have worried about their essence, their form, the roles in our cities, how they can contribute to make good cities or not, so that the Council of Tall Buildings is an institution that I much respect. It is indeed the authority we all look up to guide us in the design of tall buildings. This award is extremely important to me. It will always be cherished, and I wish I could be there to celebrate in this important evening, to be together with you, particularly when the celebration occurs in Crown Hall, one of the great buildings in America, one of the buildings that I deeply admire. I am sorry again not to be there, and I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Larry. Of course, everyone knows that Cesar is about 6 foot tall and just like Larry, actually, except a larger version. The second award goes to quite a a good friend of mine and an incredible engineer. In fact, I read in the papers today, he just picked up another award, that he is probably the best engineer in the world. And now I'm a structural engineer as well, so I can actually live with the words probably, and I don't mind that. The Fazlur Khan Medal was established in 2004 and recognises an individual for his or her demonstrated excellence in design and or research that has made a significant contribution to a discipline for the design of tall buildings and the built environment in the form of either specific technical advances, yes, innovations, yes, design breakthroughs, yes, building systems integration or innovative engineering systems, yes. This year, the Council is very pleased to recognise Bill Baker with the Fazlur Khan Medal. He's done all of these. Bill is here today with his family, and his family should be very proud of what he's done. He's been an influence to us all. He's a man of integrity and an exceptional structural engineer. Probably the best in the world. He has used his extraordinary creativity in structural design, and his integrated approach has resulted in buildings that simultaneously mesh engineering and architecture with SOM to create building form. His most recent contribution to the world skyline has been the Burj Dubai, which is, or soon to be, the world's tallest building, and is a project that epitomises the integration of engineering and architecture. Throughout the early understanding of wind pressures, the building's simple and rational structure design significantly influenced the design of the building to give you this amazing structure, as well as many others that he has been involved in. I'd like you to welcome Bill Baker to receive the Fazlur Khan Medal.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to receive this award, and it's wonderful to receive it in this building. I don't know if many of you realize this, but modern tall buildings were invented in this building, actually in the basement. Okay, how did that happen in this one-story building? It was because Fazlur Khan and Myron Goldsmith, and Myron's widow is here with us tonight, Robin Goldsmith, working with IIT students, invented the tubular structure, the brace tube structure, all these modern systems that got the high-rise buildings going started here in this building, in the basement. And in fact, many people don't realize that the John Hancock Tower here was a master's thesis originally, done with some architectural students here. And I also had the opportunity of spending, after Foz passed away, spending years down here, probably about 15 years. I'd spend every Saturday down here. My wife would give me a pass, and I could come down here. And working with Myron and David Sharp, I hopefully is here tonight, and George Shipwright and others, working with young architecture students, trying to create new skyscrapers, new systems. And through those years, it was a wonderful experience. And so being here is pretty poignant. It was here almost 15 years ago that I was on a Saturday. I got a call from my wife. I better go to the hospital because she's about to have a baby, and my son was the result of that. So it's nice to have him here also tonight. I also want to acknowledge I happened to get very lucky. I went to the University of Illinois down in Champaign, which apparently Cesar Tully did too. I didn't realize that. So there's a good connection to SOM. So I ended up at this place where there's all these architects and engineers in one spot working together. It's a fairly unique organization in that sense. And so I ended up getting all these mentors. Some of them architects, some of them engineers. I remember I once had an architect named Jim Kim, who I was working on the renovation of Sears Tower, and I designed this functional stair, which was very ugly. Okay, And this architect came over to me and chewed me up, said a structural engineer must always design his structure so the architect feels bad if he covers it up. And I think that's something that we should all strive for. I also want to acknowledge my mentors that are here, like Stan Carista and John Zales, who taught me and many of the other people in this room how to be architects and engineers, and what they led to their profession to us all. And finally, I want to thank the council for, as Cesar Pelli said, you know, this council has done remarkable things, and the recent leadership has really brought this organization forward great strides. David and Anthony have done incredible things in raising the prestige and the success of this organization. So I think we all owe them a note of gratitude. And with that, I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank the council for their award. Thank you very much.
There's one last duty I have to do today. Thank you very much, Bill. That was really great. We need to take a few moments to recognize our 2008 CTBUH Fellows. Fellows are chosen annually for their contribution to the Council over an extended period of time, and in recognition of their work and sharing of their knowledge in the design and construction of tall buildings and the urban environment. And this year, the Council recognises Saba Reyes and Jim Forbes as CTBUH Fellows. Both are long-standing friends and promoters of the Council. Both have travelled very far to come here, from Kuwait, from Australia, and both have taken on, over the years, many different roles and have provided much support to the Council. Most recently, Saba served as a member of the 2008 Council on Tall Buildings World Congress, which was very successful in Dubai, partly due to his support, which managed to mobilize a lot of people in the Middle East to come. And Jim has recently hosted a council tour from Antony in Australia, and is focusing on expanding its reach and influence down there, and working with the Australian Council on Tall Buildings, which is very active and very efficient. Please welcome Saba Reyes and Jim Forbes to the stage to collect their certificates. Thank you, Saba and Jim, and for your ongoing efforts in supporting the Council. Now we'll be serving the main course, and we'll begin the presentation of the Best Tall Building Awards shortly following dessert. Thank you very much.